More than ever, it's important for people to keep track of their health, especially if they are concerned about COVID. Neil Friedman, the Chief Operating Officer of BodiMetrics, talks about the Prevention Circul Plus Ring and the importance of being able to accurately monitor your health on a continual basis.
The Prevention Circul Plus Ring today is the #1 remote patient monitoring device in the world. The Circul Plus Ring provides a consumer or a patient with many of the metrics that are necessary for all of us to measure. The Circul Plus Ring measures your blood oxygen. Blood oxygen is the first indicator of a respiratory virus. Additionally, the Circul Plus Ring measures your heart rate. And that's important also potentially when you develop any viruses. Temperature, as you all are aware of, is another one of the metrics that's important, and we measure that over time. So that the Circul Ring is actually providing you 3 key measurements today, especially if you're a post-COVID or long hauler. And those are continuous blood oxygen, continuous heart rate, and continuous finger temperature. In addition, it does continuous heart rate variability, which really gives you the opportunity to see how to maximize your workouts and also gives your physician potentially a great overview of your heart health. And then we also have the 1-lead ECG and blood pressure.
Can this device be crucial for monitoring COVID?
The largest post-COVID long hauler website in the world is Zoe, which is based in the United Kingdom and is being run by the King's College there. And they say to post-COVID and long haulers that you must self-monitor. And the 3 key metrics that you must measure for as a long hauler are blood oxygen, heart rate, and temperature. Those metrics are to be measured continuously. Episodic measurements are worthless. The doctor has to see the measurements over a period of time.
Who's a good candidate for the Circul Plus Ring?
Today, everyone is a good candidate for the Circul Plus. Anyone who wants to monitor their health should have a Circul Plus from the age of 20 to 85.
Mr. Friedman explains how this device is accurate for all skin colors.
One of the most important things about the Prevention Circul Plus Ring is that we do not have a pigmentation problem. People of color will get accurate measurements. In December of 2020, an article was published in the New England Journal of Medicine titled Non-Intended Racial Discrimination. 10% of the African American community were misdiagnosed. Unfortunately, many people purchased fingertip oximeters and their numbers were not correct. 3 weeks after the publication of that article, 3 U.S. senators wrote an article to the FDA asking for an explanation of why these devices are in the marketplace. Circul Plus has proven through clinical trials using blood gases, which is the most difficult trials, that we have no pigmentation problem.
What sets this device apart from other wearable devices?
Most wearables that we think of and talk about are really worn on the wrist. And when we talk about wearables or think about wearables, we think of activity. Well, the Circul Plus has not only taken it off the wrist, but put it on the finger, right? And changed the form factor. Now, I want to explain to you that wearables, we all wear wearables, but the reality is that the metrics are really not right, because the key to metrics and sensors is stability. And when you have a watch on your hand, it's moving. When you have a ring on your hand, it's moving. The Circul Plus has a unique form factor that almost looks like a nut, like a screw and nut. You see that the top of it has a half halo, it has 2 drawdowns, and then a reverse halo where the sensors are. So what ends up happening is that when you put it on your finger, it automatically tightens on that finger and it doesn't move. By not moving, it gives you medical grade metrics.
How does someone set up the Prevention Circul Plus Ring?
It's very easy when you receive the Circul Plus. My first suggestion is to go to the Apple Store or the Google Play Store and download the Circul Plus app. Then let's go to the box. You open the box, you'll find your quick start guide, and immediately you'll see your new Circul Plus Ring. Underneath the new Circul Plus Ring are 2 USB chargers that connect magnetically to the ring, and I suggest that you put them into your computer and charge your ring for about an hour and a half prior to use. After charging it, let's go back to the app, open up the app, and you'll see the video of how to use the ring properly. Immediately once you put the ring on your finger, you'll see that your app starts talking to you, and it will connect automatically, and you'll see your metrics on the app within 20 seconds once the app is running.
What about the cost versus the savings in healthcare?
I think when we think about costs, we have to think about what happens in our life. If we get sick, we have to go to a doctor, and we don't really know whether we should be there or not. Well, that's going to cost you several $100s. Now, with the Prevention Circul Plus, you can see your metrics, understand the baseline of your metrics, and really see if there's a need to see a doctor, and you can save that money.
Neil Friedman gives us a patient's story.
We have so many unique stories I hear every day from our customers. Let me tell you about one of them. One of our customers, a physician that lives actually in rural North Carolina, who was actually working inside at home for the age, got terrible COVID. And she called me and she said, the Circul Plus has saved my life, because she has been able to follow her blood oxygen and her heart rate.
Devices like this are a part of the future of healthcare and helping people get control of their health.
I'm sure all of you in the last 3 years have experienced telehealth, and that unfortunately has happened because of the COVID virus. The Circul Ring is really very much a piece of what we call the remote patient monitoring. You will be at home, you'll take your daily measurements, and they will automatically go to the cloud. When you contact your doctor, he or she will have access to the cloud and see all your metrics. And that really is the simplicity of remote patient monitoring and what all of us will be experiencing in the near future. With remote patient monitoring, the goal is really to see you at your home, to limit the amount of people that come to the hospitals and only really bring the people that really need to come to hospitals, so that when you are spending time with your doctor on your visits and telehealth, and he or she has the opportunity not only to talk with you, but actually see those metrics that they need to see, then they can really evaluate where you are today. But more than anything else, what ends up happening with people that have post-COVID or use our device, by seeing those numbers over a continuous period of time, their stress level comes down. And if you can reduce the stress of somebody who unfortunately is post-COVID or long hauler, then you're helping them in their path back to good health.